Greetings and welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host, Jefficho. My co-host is always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
So, Chris, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
The Gorge.
Gorge.
Just came out today.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I think as far as direct-to-streaming movies go, I think I like this one.
Yeah, I thought special effects looked good. Story was good.
Mm-hmm.
Actors were top-notch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to getting into.
Okay.
Especially when they started talking to each other and hanging out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like they're playing chess.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's her thing.
That's her thing. Dude, you're gonna get smoked. It's a trap.
And then they swap and he's drumming. I'm like, that's his thing. It's like your two big movies. Boom. Those are your things.
Yeah.
That was cool. The movie starts out with a sniper
Yeah.
making her shot, and then she goes to
An
see
impossible shot.
Well, that one wasn't the impossible shot.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be.
Okay, it might have been. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was much further.
Because I figure if she's gonna reference the impossible shot that she made, it would probably be the one from the start.
I think if she made that shot from as far away as they make it sound, I don't think drones would have got her at all. But yeah, she goes to visit her dad, and he's like, "Oh yeah, drones saw you," and she's like, "Oh, I got another assignment meeting I gotta go to tomorrow," and he's like, "I'm gonna off myself next year on February 14th." I mean, it is the day where depression's pretty low on some people. This and Christmas, suicide rates.
Oh, okay.
He's got cancer though. Like, I mean, that's why he's gonna do it. He's like, "Oh, I got cancer, so February 14th."
I'm like, that's the day the movie came out.
Yeah, exactly. And you got Miles Teller plays Levi. He doesn't really have a life.
No, he just shoots people and be sad about it.
Yeah, yeah, he can't
Compartmentalize like he used to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he has these nightmares every day.
Do you know who I am?
Judging by your age, appearance, and how Marine Colonel just followed your order without a yip, I'd guess you're some kind of high-level spook.
It's Sigourney Weaver, who's like, some secret hush-hush thing. And she says like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you an assignment. It's a year long.
I want to go hang out in the tower for a year.
Yeah.
Be pretty cool.
It's over a gorge." No, I don't think he got told any of this. So it's like, I got a mission. They drugged me on the plane.
Yeah.
And then, jump out here. She got the same thing. We didn't really get her version of the setup.
I did. There were some things that I wanted to see more of, and some things that I felt like sort of overstayed their welcome. Because I would have loved to see like her experience getting introduced to this from the Russian side as well. Like, how do they do it?
Yeah.
So that would have been interesting. Have them sort of be co-main characters more, because we were focusing on Levi for a lot of the experience. And I would have liked to see the contrast between how the two sides are handling this.
And although she worked for the Russians, she was Belarus. And it was funny because we're spending a lot of time at Levi's side, and it's like, okay, that's somewhat outdated. And then you see hers, it's like wood paneling.
Yeah, she seemed to have a nice kitchen going on there, and I was like, "Rrr." And she's got some fairly modern records. Those aren't from World War II, so does everybody who comes in just bring an album with them? Because that would actually be super cool. That would be like, bring an album with you and we'll build this collection. Like, yeah, neat.
Yeah.
You're telling me leaders from the East and West have been secretly working together for the last 75 years?
No. I'm telling you, there have been 9 Soviet-Russian heads of state and 13 US presidents since the coalition was formed, and not one of them has known about the Gorge.
Levi meets JD, who was the night watchman for the last year, and he's super stoked to be leaving.
Yeah. And
he's all giving him the update, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here's the Gorge, here's where you stay, you got unlimited food somehow, and all this other stuff." Well, I mean, and helicopters can just go right there, so I mean, even though they don't, we can't go closer, you have to walk. Unless it's the end of the movie. And so he gets himself all set up. He asks a bunch of questions. The guy doesn't have a lot of answers. I'm not even sure. Did that guy run into anything down there?
I think they were the first two to go down there. But I'm sure there were attacks. Yeah, I think that happens.
Because he didn't know he threw his little arm grenade thing down there so that Levi could hear the noises of what's down there.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I'm sorry, you're just stirring up the rabbit's nest. Like,
Yeah.
A year ago, I was in your boots, and my predecessor gave me the exact same speech, and what did I think of him?
He's completely full of shit.
Exactly. But
I'm kind of like, they didn't say anything about, you know, where these people get, like, they should just have the population of that town. And I don't think those guys keep coming back, right? Like, I think once they killed them, they were done.
yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised that things have been coming out for this many years.
Yeah, well, I mean, they seem immortal, and I think it's the however many cavalrymen that went in
Yeah.
on horses to
Yeah.
wipe it out.
Yep, yep.
They were never heard from again, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
because they lost the ability to speak.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to leave and gets his helicopter ride pickup, and they stop him as he's going up, and we're just like, no, fucking kill him.
Yeah, that guy there.
Like, can you identify, can you, like, identify who you are? And he's like, yep, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, all right, thank you for your service.
See ya.
So, you know, not a benefit to do this job.
No. No, not great.
But our two leads do not know this, and, you know, they're not supposed to have contact, Chris.
Mm-hmm. But we go from 0 to flirty real quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, he finally, like, he looks over there, and she's just, like, chopping wood or something. She's just got, like, her ass face, and I'm just like, well, fuck. Like, attitude with joy. I'm in love already. Like, the forbidden romance. She initializes it. She's just like, hey, like, writes on cue cards, and, you know, got a little love actually here with cue cards.
Yeah.
She has her birthday, and that. He's just like, I can't talk to you. She's like, it's my birthday. It's like, all right, gorgeous girl across the fucking chasm
I
here.
feel like obviously you're going to talk to Anna Taylor-Joy, but like there's no way you don't put two people across from each other and they just don't talk to each other for a year.
Yeah.
Like that would be the first thing you figure out.
Well, it's not even like just I don't know, like they're nations, I guess, but like they're both working for the same thing.
Yeah.
So like.
I don't care how
team,
yes sir, no sir you are.
Being a team
you're
should be
gonna
the
talk
same
to that
thing. And also,
person.
shouldn't there be a third tower because there were 3 nations involved? We saw the 3 flags. They talked about how 3 different countries like went in.
Well, it was I think it breaks down into the Western powers. Like, you know, we had the British guy and the American guy,
Yeah.
and then the Eastern Bloc.
Even the doctor in the film reel later was British, but
Yeah.
yeah, they should have come across another tower. Brits.
Well, that was the first tower. He literally was relieving a Brit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so there's an American relieve a Brit.
Yeah.
I guess they just work together, completely different continents.
Yeah.
A third tower, Chris, is what I want. And then they show up, and there's a bunch of Brits go, cheerio, and there's a shit ton of them in there, and we're just hanging out.
Just been enjoying their tea the
Yeah.
whole time.
Like, there's only one of us, mine. Oh, that'd be quite lonely.
Yeah.
They're enjoying their time together, talking about what they're good at. He's like, I'm good at shooting.
Mhm.
And so she put the bottle up, and he's like, I'm not doing that. So she shoots his bottle thing,
Yeah.
and then
It doesn't take out the window behind it
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Excellent shot.
you know, those are sniper bullets, man. They
No,
stop.
they're not.
They stopped the
They're
second.
not sniper
They weren't
bullets.
using their sniper guns
They
at all.
were using like ARs or something.
Yeah.
That was absolutely not. But because they have their good sniper rifles
Yeah.
later.
Well, they don't. You don't need that, Chris. I watched Lethal Weapon, and I know that Riggs was like in the top 3, and he could use his handgun and shoot from far away too.
Okay.
I mean, he did have like a longer gun at the end of the first one, but yeah. So he shoots her bottle, and it explodes, and it's like glass. And later she's like bottle on top. Of
Like this lady's nuts.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
doing
it's
that.
Just endearing me more to her.
Yeah.
They flirt, and then I believe we get an incursion.
Yeah, zombies attack.
Yeah, these.
I did really like the design of these zombies when I first saw them. They were kind of plant looking,
Yeah.
and they put a lot of effort into giving them like specific faces. So I was like, okay, where are we going with this? Because these aren't just generic zombies.
I was really hoping for lizard people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go back to the lizard people rule the earth like theories. Come on, hit me with that.
Mm-hmm. Morlocks, maybe.
Yeah, warlocks. We can always do that. But yeah, no, they were interesting for sure. And then yeah, they get more interesting the further we go. And yeah, so she pulls out her little Gatling gun, takes out some of his wall. Each time they hit a mine, it's like, oh fuck, why am I standing so close?
Yeah.
And then even him, like, he had to pull out the Gatling gun and like shrapnel got her in the chest.
Go back to flirting.
Yeah, a sad day. I believe it's February 14th.
Oh, that's
and
like
she's crying in front of him. Like, it's cold out there. Like,
okay, my favorite superpower of hers was that she just knows when Americans are looking at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an American
especially when
is
she's
looking
like
at me.
chopping the wood
Yeah.
and she's away from the whole everything, and it's just like someone's staring at my ass.
An American is staring at my ass.
She's like, I never
Notice.
would have noticed a British guy doing it.
No, but Americans are loud when they're staring. Yeah.
Are you okay? She's like, it's a rough day. He's like, I'm coming over.
Yeah.
And
And he MacGyver's
Yeah.
he MacGyver's a solution together.
Truly MacGyvered it for sure.
Mhm.
And then halfway through, sliding over is like, that was my first thought. Zip line over, man. Halfway through, he underestimated the slack he was going to have there. Or?
I mean, I guess he could have like shot it from the top of his tower down, but then the way back is going to be awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're pulling yourself. It's fine.
Yeah.
Good arm workout. You called it though, like right away. He's like, oh, he's gonna be sweaty for his date.
Yeah, he's gonna be all stinky for his date, dude.
Just
What are
gets
you
there,
doing?
she's just like, you smell. Go take a shower. And then like I even like the playfulness, and she's just like, oh, I'm hanging up his clothes, and she's like, no, I'm gonna fuck with him. I'm gonna move his clothes over here. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what you do in that situation.
Do you like rabbit pie?
I intend to.
What's that you're growing?
I brought you flowers.
Of course you did. Thank you. You're staring.
There's a lot more green in your eyes than I was expecting.
Have rabbit stew, I believe, or something.
Rabbit pie?
Rabbit
Was it rabbit pie?
That was some sort of rabbit food.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where they say if she has to hunt all her food, and he's just got like steaks refrigerated. And
Yeah. It would have been cute if it was like, oh, I don't know, there's no rabbits on my side. And you're like, oh, I got you these flowers. Oh, we don't have these flowers on my side.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, little things.
Yeah.
I thought at first, like, when he was building something, like, my first guess was, oh, it's zipline over there. That's what I would do. But, like, I was just like, maybe he's making a gift for her and he's just going to shoot it
He's
over.
gonna shoot the gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he could have done. He could have attached something to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have dinner. They dance a little. He lied about being a bad dancer.
Mm-hmm. He was an acceptable dancer.
Yep. Very acceptable. And then they fell on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And when you fall on the
I don't know what
floor,
else happened after that.
you
wasn't
you
the movie
kiss.
wasn't the
You
movie
kiss.
wasn't clear about what happened
It
after
wasn't
that.
clear. It got a little blurry. In fact.
Because you lied to me, Levi.
About what?
Being a terrible dancer.
Maybe a little bit.
Almost like an implied love scene.
I don't know. We'll never.
But
know.
then when we saw them next, they were back out in the cold balcony.
Yeah, nobody cared about the cold in this. I
Yeah.
loved it. It was just constantly
I
snowing.
think he did shiver a bit
Yeah.
when he went out with his shirt when he had like a nightmare he woke up from.
Yeah, but it's just constantly snowing, and she's like dancing out there in her little tight dress, and I'm like, dude, it's like -10 or something.
She had short shorts and a tank top half the time. Like,
Yeah.
you want to be comfortable, but you want to be warm too.
Movies made by Californians.
She's better.
Oh,
She's used
maybe.
to the cold.
Maybe that's it.
Implied love, which is necessary because you need to care about your characters before you put them in peril.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I did like "I love you" zip lines away.
Did you like the rabbit pie?
No. I fucking loved the rabbit pie.
It's about halfway there. Has
Yeah.
to start struggling. Don't look back. Don't look back.
Yeah, and then she notices the creature thingies, the hollow men.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got some
A
good.
lot of poetry.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got some good poetry references. They crawl up, they hit a mine.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool seeing them replace a mine at one point.
Yep.
Destroys this zip line. And then he falls into her, and she's...
Good thing we all brought parachutes.
Yeah, he brought a parachute. I was like, oh, wow, that is some fucking smart thinking. Like, I'm going up a giant height. I'm going to bring a parachute just in case.
These people are professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's just like, oh, no. Grabs her stuff. I would have grabbed way more guns, though. Like, granted, they didn't really run out of ammo to the very end, but, like, I would have grabbed way more guns.
Way more guns.
And not jumped into the river. I'm not saying she had a choice, but I'm just saying.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I would have avoided the river. If I'm in her situation, I've got years of experience. Pull the zip line, go to the left.
Yeah. Now, I think I understand why we spent a lot of time here, because the Gorge was probably like the most interesting area, but I also felt like it kind of dragged there. I felt like we kind of did the same scene a bunch of times, and like I liked seeing all the different creatures and designs down there, but that's where the movie kind of started getting muddy for me, just as far as pacing went. Did you kind of feel that way?
Go somewhere, threat.
Go somewhere.
Well, see, to me though, like, that was where the action picked up.
There was a lot of cool stuff down there.
There was. It felt a little bit like Annihilation when they go into the alien world and everything's transfusing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Can definitely see that, probably that influence on that.
He gets stuck in a tree when he parachuted down, and then there's this giant fucking caterpillar that, like, you know, thankfully, I love it when they, like, stop. Instead of eating you, they stop to roar at you. And then, you know, he shoots himself free, and then he falls down, and then fucking these fangs start coming off, like, from the tree.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, man, this guy's fucked. So, like, thankfully, you know, Drasa shows up and saves his ass.
For whatever reason, I didn't like that just every single person down there was trying to kill them. Like, what have they retained of their humanity? Clearly something. Because they can think and make choices.
The painting of the dude, who was the dude down at the bottom of the missile silo, would have been the guy to be able to talk.
Yeah, I was expecting someone to be able to communicate with
that. That would have been the guy, because, like, he dragged her off. That was weird. But, like, you know, maybe he dragged her off to protect her and not eat her.
You know what? I think I would have preferred that to finding the stupid videotape thing. Give me somebody down there. I think that would have been maybe more interesting.
Well, once we saw the horse, we're just like, these are the horsemen. This is the cavalry.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have to go through a bunch of the forest, which look good.
This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. It's from the T.S. Eliot poem about people stuck in a world between life and death.
You get into a small town where it's like movie theater, church, and, like, foolishly, everybody always goes to the church in horror movies and shit. And they go there and they see people, like, have cyanide stuff, and, like, they had killed themselves before bad shit happened to them. And then we got spiders, Chris.
The skull spiders, I think, were the stupidest.
You didn't like the skull
I didn't like the skulls, not just because I don't like spiders, but just, like, we're spiders with a skull. Like, the full skull was, I think, kind of a poor integration. Because a lot of the other melded stuff was sort of more subtle, but these guys were just skittering around with, we have a human skull on us.
Yeah, I only really noticed the skull on a couple of them, but they were moving fast, and that is not a situation you want to be in. And my complaint at the very start of jumping down into the gorge was, bring a sword.
You wanted a sword the whole time.
Well, that's me every movie.
Yeah.
But, like, you run out of ammo. It happens.
Don't run out of ammo.
Exactly. So, yeah, she's just like, hole!
Yeah,
she blows a hole,
big
ducks
explosion.
down. I'm like, he did not have enough time to know what. He's just like, hole looks behind himself, like, oh fuck.
I want to know what that church pulpit is made out of.
Yeah.
Making a hole!
Escape there, they run to the wall, and they find this other, like, door leads to a whole research science lab.
Yeah.
And, like, my theories are coming true. I was just like, you know, it's some sort of, like, nuclear weapon would turn people into everything. And
and again, the designs were pretty cool. You know, there's the body with all the sprouts coming out of it, and I really liked that. There was a lot of effort put in, especially in that area, to just, having these veins running around, and are they veins or vines? And it was a really cool kind of amalgamation of stuff.
I love that. They're looking around right away. Here's a reel. God save us. I'm like, this is what we need to watch.
Yeah. I was like, explain things to me, movie.
And like,
here's your explaining things.
I don't think it really, like, as a the British scientist, head researcher dude or whatever she was, I don't think she really said everything. Like, yeah, we pieced it all together and stuff, but like, she didn't really go on to like what they were doing down there as much as she probably should have.
They said we were like a biochemical Manhattan project.
Yeah, I think it was just because it was like, nearing her end, so she's just like, oh, here's a rush video for us. She's just like, I've got an infection.
Yeah.
And they go into another room where they've got some technology in there.
I was like, that's not from the 40s. And she was like, that's not from the 40s. And I was like, yeah.
And then I was just like, Chris might have watched this earlier today. And, they're clicking on things, and, they figured out what the
stray dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the stray dog was, and it's a nuclear bomb. If everything gets fucked, nuclear bomb goes off. They escape. They go back to her place, and then he's like, okay, well, we gotta check in, which is good. For all the shit that's gone on, what day it is. That's impressive. Doesn't even watch anymore. Just tells the time. And go back to their place and they talk, and it's a little different. And he's just like, yeah, here's my confirmation that I called. And it's like, oh, this is not the same fucking routine. And then Sigourney Weaver comes on. She's like, did you go into the thing? It's like, no.
No.
Of course not.
Me?
The delays.
Go into the gorge?
The delays.
No.
The delays are not, me lying.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, then you must have been your counterpart on the other side, and you have to kill them. Like, yeah, sure, why not? And then she's like looking at a picture of both of them staring at the computer.
Levi Kane is compromised. Gather your team, we'll leave in the morning.
You're coming with us, ma'am?
He's my mistake. I'll kill him myself if I have to.
They do some communication, they set up a plan. Sigourney Weaver comes in, they run. Anna Taylor-Joy had a chance to take her out.
Well, she did, just sort of a roundabout way.
Yeah. They shoot some satellites, they attach some cables so the other satellites would blow up, and that would pretty much set off the nuclear bomb. And they knew how far they had to run. And I was like, he's checking his thing, and it's just like, oh, when he got the 3.9, that's where he stopped to take a shot so he could beat her record. She goes off into a cave. She counts to 5 for 5 days. She's like, oh, I'm fine. Like, who cares? I mean,
it looks all right.
I guess you could get into the whole argument thing of like, yeah, Jeff, if you were bit, like, would you make sure you didn't turn? Be like, my life's over either way. Like, if I turn, I turn. Like, if I don't good.
That's a you guys problem.
Yeah,
you can figure that out.
100%.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh shit, I'm turning. Let's go get the people I don't like and put them in the same room with me.
Yeah.
He falls off a mountain cliff into the water because of the nuclear explosion. He just didn't run fast enough.
He had a bum leg.
And even when she was getting dragged, like she took dragged by horse. She took a thing into the stomach, a tree branch, and then
no, she's fine.
Yeah,
she's fine.
It was one of those just like, don't forget you got shot in those movies where you punch and kick and everything. Like, don't forget you're hurt. The helicopter has trouble flying away. I would suggest because they were trying to go across the gorge instead of like over the trees that way.
Yeah, just whatever is the quickest way.
I would think like away from the gorge would be the fastest and the quickest way to get away from the bomb. Because like it's got to go over out of the gorge for one, and then like the explosion's got to cover the trees. And I was like, that's gonna take longer, and your helicopter would go faster that way. But whatever, bad guys had to die.
I mean, they didn't. I was surprised they didn't sequel bait me at all.
Yeah, it's a streaming movie, man. Like, they don't need to do that. What are they gonna be like? Hey, Drasa and Levi, like, we heard you knew something about the Gorge. You have to go back in.
I don't know. Something could escape.
Yeah. Then you just got a world pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I've had enough of that.
Yeah.
And so she had mentioned a little French place that she knew was safe, which I'm sorry, but
For some reason, there's no cameras here.
yeah,
There's just no cameras or
I mean, the
internet
government
here.
can find you anywhere. Like, let's be honest.
Well, this isn't even the government. This is like Super Facebook or whatever they are.
Yeah. They're just working on biogenetic research, which is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it anyways. And so she's a waitress. Which is like, yeah, I'm sorry, like, you have a skill set.
I was thinking of that scene from the start of what was the Star Wars movie, Rebel One, I think, or it's just, waitressing, a woman of your talents.
Rogue One. But
Yeah.
Farming.
Yeah.
Man of your talents. Oh, it's like the meme that they do is gaming.
Yeah.
Single player gaming, a man of your talents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, he shows up and he's just like, I want the rabbit stew or food pie.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, like, we need a cook.
Yeah.
You have any skills? And they joke about he's got a good shot. And he broke her record.
Yeah.
And, happily ever after in a little French village.
Aw.
Hello, Drasa.
Hello, Levi. You're late.
Sorry, I got injured at my old job.
Well, if you're looking for a new one, the kitchen's hiring. Got any special skills?
Well, these people, they get trained for their lives, so they can be like the greatest this or that. And it's like, I fell in love, give it a lot. It's like working for a career and having a kid. It's like, all right, well, fuck that. I'm gonna have a family.
Yeah. This whole situation could have been avoided if they just had more people.
Yeah.
Like, if you were just like forcing these people to be extremely lonely, you're gonna kill them anyway. Just find two guys. Just to get two guys.
Also, like, they're offering the people every year, which, like, keep your secrets, whatever. Or you can just find some people that don't give a shit and like the money. I see a lot of evil mercenaries in every movie
I guess
watch.
they just can't risk it. Like, there's no reason for them to risk it.
Yeah.
You might as well just killing them's free.
Yeah. Bullets cost money. All the food that guy ate for a year.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it was hunted. They said there was hunting and farming going on.
It's true.
I'm impressed they were able to grow fruits and veggies in that climate.
Without a greenhouse.
Yeah. It was just sitting there.
I mean, I don't know where we were. They didn't know where we were, but it was cold looking.
Mm-hmm.
Final thought.
It was fun. It was fun. I'm glad that we watched this. I think I don't know, this just seems to be my go-to complaint with a lot of films. I do think it kind of dragged in the middle. I think we could have upped the pacing a bit. I didn't get to talk about this, but I really liked that sort of network of like fungus plant people that was around the missile there. Like, it seemed like there was something interesting going on. Can they all talk to each other? Are they a network? Because they're fungus. I don't know. But shit like that was more intriguing than a lot of just the shooty run gun.
Nobody
bang.
like tried to communicate and just be like, what is he saying? Kill us.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
We can't die. We've been here since the 40s.
Yeah.
When you watch a Netflix movie, I mean, there are definitely a few exceptions. I think Spectral was one of them. But like, there's always this like, oh, this could have been good. Where this is like an Apple movie, and like they've been like doing some really good shows.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I've liked a number of things off Apple.
I think they put like, not that this, I don't even know what the budget would have been on this, but like it looked good.
Yeah, it was
like special effects looked good.
It was serviceable.
I would have watched this in theater. But yeah, no, I thought it was well done, well acted, enjoyable film, good action, and eventually, he stole that cavalry guy's sword. Smartest move.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, fuck, I gotta cut some vines, I gotta chop some. You ran out of bullets, man. You needed that sword. She even found a little hatchet.
Yeah.
Overall, enjoyed it.
Yep.
Would watch again.
All right.
Well, as always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.